हेलो व्यूअर्स, आज के इस मेडन सेशन में कमलजीत पुट्टा की तरफ से आप सबका हार्दिक अभिनंदन है। आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत है। केजेवी अकाउंट्स एंड सर्विसेज लर्निंग प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत हम एक छोटी सी परंतु उपदेशजनक कहानी, जो कि हमारे लिए एक इंस्पिरेशन भी है इस प्रोजेक्ट में, उससे शुरू करना चाहेंगे। एक बार एक व्यक्ति समुंदर तट पर टहल रहा था। समुंदर की लहर आती और अपने साथ हजारों मछलियां समुंदर तट पर छोड़ जाती। लहर चली जाती और मछलियां तड़पती। एक व्यक्ति जो वहां पर टहल रहा था, उसने देखा कि मछलियां तड़प रही हैं, तो उसने एक एक मछली को उठाना शुरू कर दिया और बहुत जोर के साथ वो समुद्र में उनको फेंकता चला गया। परंतु एक दूसरा व्यक्ति उसकी आलोचना के लिए आ गया कि ये आप क्या कर रहे हो, कितनी को मछलियों को आप लाइफ दे लोगे। परंतु पहले वाला व्यक्ति बोला नहीं। उसने फिर एक और मछली उठाई और बहुत जोर से समुद्र में फेंका। उसने कहा कि दूसरों को फर्क पड़ता या नहीं, परंतु इसको तो जरूर जीवन मिलेगा। सो साथियों, हमारा भी यही प्रयास है कि हम अपने इस अकाउंट्स एंड सर्विसेज लर्निंग प्रोग्राम में उन एस्पिरेंट्स को, जो कि अकाउंट्स के फील्ड में आज कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर डेवलप होने की वजह से बढ़ना तो चाहते हैं, परंतु उनके पास पूरी फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं है, खासकर उन लोगों के लिए जो पर्वतीय क्षेत्रों में, दूर दूर के इलाकों में, विलेजेस में, स्लम्स में, कॉलोनीज में रहते हैं। हमारा ये प्रयास है कि हमारी ये लर्निंग प्रोग्राम, हमारी जो शिक्षा, वो सभी तक पहुँचे, ताकि वो बच्चे भी, वो लोग भी अपना कैरियर अकाउंट्स की लाइन में डेवलप कर सकें। इसके साथ साथ हम आपको ये भी बताना चाहेंगे कि अकाउंट्स के बाद हम धीरे धीरे यहाँ तक भी हो सका दूसरे सब्जेक्ट्स भी ऐड करेंगे। तो इसी विनती के साथ, इसी रिक्वेस्ट के साथ मैं एक बार फिर आपसे ये निवेदन करता हूँ कि हमारे प्रोग्राम को सक्सेसफुल बनाने में आप सबका बहुत सहयोग चाहिए, क्योंकि जितना आप लाइक करेंगे, जितना सब्सक्राइब करेंगे और जितना बेल आइकॉन दबाकर हमें उत्साहित करेंगे, इससे किसी न किसी उस व्यक्ति को, उस बच्चे को, उस लड़के को, उस बच्ची को जीवन अपने कॉमर्स की लाइफ में ज़रूर मिलेगा। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं एक बार फिर आप सबका धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। हेलो व्यूअर्स, आज के इस सेशन में, वीडियो सेशन में, हम आपके साथ जो कंसेप्ट डिस्कस करेंगे उनमें बेसिकली है व्हाट इज कॉमर्स, व्हाट इज बुक कीपिंग, what is accounting। इसके साथ साथ जो क्वेश्चंस पिछले एग्जामिनेशंस में, वेरियस बोर्ड्स में या दूसरे डिपार्टमेंटल एग्जामिनेशंस में आए हैं, वो भी आपके साथ हम डिस्कस करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले हम चलते हैं, अपना सब्जेक्ट जो शुरू होता है वो कॉमर्स की प्रपोजिशन से होता है कि व्हाट इज कॉमर्स। commerce is exchange of goods. Exchange of goods and services. Goods and services at some monetary value. At some monetary value from the place of its manufacture to the place of consumer to satisfy human needs and wants. This definition, this precise definition, covers almost all the basic elements of commerce. When we speak the word exchange, it obviously means that it is an exchange between the two parties, and that two parties are, one is seller and the other is purchaser. So exchange is always between the two parties, and in commerce there must be seller and the purchaser. Second comes goods. Goods has a wide meaning in the field of commerce. The definition of goods differs from act to act, from business to business, from place to place. Here, goods means the company, the firm, the company in which it deals with. I am manufacturing furniture, and furniture are my goods for the business. I am manufacturing home appliances, then home appliances are the goods of my business. I manufacture home appliances. What I purchase furniture for my office, then furniture is not the goods. It doesn't fall under the definition of goods. So basic point to be remembered is, goods are those products in which the company deals with to earn some profit, But it is to be remembered that there should always not be profit. Sometimes goods are also sold on depreciation or at some diminishing rate. So there must be exchange of monetary value. So these things are to be basically remembered, that goods are those products in which the company deals with. Then comes the services. The definition of services has very wide range. With the passage of time, as far as the service industry is increased, the definition of services also passes through various phases. Presently, it not only renders service, but it also market products, market the products while rendering service. While rendering service. Now I have used the word products. Just for the manufacturing company, the goods manufacturer are called goods. Similarly, in the service industry, these are called products. You can take the example of SBI, banking mein. You can take the example of ICICI, HDFC. These are the banking institutions. They market and sell their products. What are their products? Mainly insurance is the product. Insurance policy is the product with all. सभी के पास है. They not only market credit cards. These are the products. They market it and sell it and also give service to the general public. So, marketing the products while rendering service is the essential feature of the service industry. Service industry, there also comes financial institutions. Financial institutions. Railway, warehousing, all these are service industries. So, goods and services and exchange, the definition of all these three is sufficiently clear. Now comes at some monetary value. I have already discussed, whenever the goods are exchanged, there must be some monetary exchange of monetary value. उसमें पैसा इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए. Then comes from the place of its manufacture to the place of consumer. When the goods are transferred from one place to another, बिल कट जाता है, गेट पास इशू हो जाता है, तो वो डील एक ट्रांसफर डील में आ जाती है, तो वो बिजनेस की डील में शामिल हो जाती है. सो फ्रॉम प्लेस ऑफ इट्स मैन्युफैक्चर टू द प्लेस ऑफ कंज्यूमर. कंज्यूमर के ऑर्डर को, उसकी वांट्स को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए जो कुछ भी हम देते हैं वो इसी डेफिनेशन में आता है, टू द प्लेस ऑफ इट्स मैन्युफैक्चर टू द प्लेस ऑफ इट्स कंज्यूमर. देन कम्स टू सेटिस्फाई ह्यूमन नीड्स एंड ह्यूमन वांट्स. These orders are supplied with the social object that there must be satisfaction of human needs and wants. उनकी मांग की पूर्ति के लिए और इन इच्छाओं की पूर्ति के लिए हमेशा कॉमर्स डील करता है. सो दिस इज द बेसिक कंसेप्ट ऑफ कॉमर्स. नाउ वी विल कम टू व्हाट इज बुक कीपिंग. Bookkeeping, as the word is clear, bookkeeping is, some writers says that it is a science, some says it is an art. There is no doubt that the figures of commerce, the accounting figures are based on the evidences, on some facts. It is a science. Then it is an art also, because it is presented within a definite art prescribed by the governments. But before it is called a science and an art, the essential thing is that it has to pass through the processes. it has to pass through the processes, just like fabric. Fabric has to pass through the various processes, taking from the cotton, then spindling, then designing, and then coloring. It has to pass through the various processes. Similarly, bookkeeping accounts is also to pass through the various processes. And those processes are, first is identification. First is identification. Identification of what? Identification of a transaction involved. KJV started business with capital of rupees 2 crores. So when the first transaction comes to us, we are to see whether it is a personal transaction or it is related to the business. If it is related to the business, there is exchange of goods at some monetary value, then it is okay. But if it is personal, we are to see that if it is partly personal or purely personal. KJV withdrew rupees 20 lakh from his business for personal use. When any amount is drawn from the business for personal use or to meet the personal needs or to meet the personal expenditure, then it is called drawings. It is called drawings. If it is business transaction, then it is okay. If it is business transaction, then it is okay. After identification, we are to see whether it is a personal or non-personal. We are to see that there must be some monetary transaction. Second feature is monetary transaction. We have already discussed that in the transaction there must be exchange of money. If there is no exchange of money, then it is not called the business transaction. After we are satisfied that it has been identified, its sellers and purchasers have been identified, it has also been identified that it is a personal or non-personal, then it has also been identified that it is a monetary transaction, then the third step with the is to record it. Then the third step with the is to record the transaction. These transactions are recorded: sales book, purchase book. There are also other books. Those books will be discussed when we proceed ahead. So transactions are recorded in the relevant books of accounts. After these transactions are recorded in the books of respective accounts, then these are classified. Then these accounts are classified. From classification, from Vargikaran, we mean that we are to put the transactions of under the relevant head. Suppose there are 3-4 companies, XYZ, ABC, LMN. Suppose these are three companies with which KJV deals with. Then KJV will classify the transactions of XYZ in the account of XYZ. KJV will classify these all his different transactions in the book in the account of ABC, and similarly in the LMN. So when the transactions, the various transactions are recorded under the one head, these are called classified. That is called the classification of accounts. That is called the classification of transactions. Then comes, after classification, we are to summarize the whole accounts, whole detail जितना भी है हमारा, उसको हमने एक समराइज फॉर्म में करना है. समराइज फॉर्म करने के लिए देयर आर सर्टेन पैरामीटर्स, and those parameters will lead us to prepare the sometimes journal, profit and loss account, and then balance sheet. कैश बुक इसके बीच में आ जाती है, कैश बुक लेजर भी, वो सब जर्नल से बन जाती हैं. ये सबसे डिटेल्ड बुक ऑफ अकाउंट है. उसके बाद कैश बुक, देन लेजर. देन वी आर टू प्रिपेयर, summarize it in this form. Summarize in this form. So we are to summarize all the accounts in cash book, in ledger, in the profit and loss account, and finally in the balance sheet. So this is called summarizing. So when there is a question that what are the various steps that are to be taken while maintaining the bookkeeping, then we are to record all these 5 steps. Suppose there is a question that narrate any 2 steps, then you can take any 2 steps. This is monetary terms and record, both are important. But if there is accounting, then we are to see next 6th point है इसका interpretation. Interpretation. What has been interpreted in the profit and what has been recorded in the profit and loss account, what has been summarized in the balance sheet, then these are interpreted. Interpreted for the decision making. For decision making. Decision making by whom? By the management of the company. Various type of decisions are taken on these summarized accounts after interpreting them. When these are interpreted by the company, then these are conveyed. Then these are conveyed to the tax authorities, conveyed to the CGS authority, conveyed to the central excise, conveyed to the security exchange board, conveyed to the media, conveyed to the investors, conveyed to the stakeholders. So these are conveyed. Why? For the interest of business. So the stakeholders to whom these are conveyed, this is also important. To whom these are conveyed, it is also important. There are 2 types of users of these accounts who remain interested in their interpretation, who may remain interested in the conveying of the accounts, and those are internal users and external users. Internal users comes proprietors of the company, partners of the company, of the limited company, the company, shareholders, sleeping and non-sleeping both, shareholders, then CEO, manager of accounts, accounts staff, works manager, then unions. These are the internal users of the company's information. They always remain interested. Then there comes external users. I have already told, these external users are the financial institutions, banks, here the word I have used, shareholders of the company, then banks, then investors, then direct tax authority, CGST authority. All these are the external users of the financial information. So we have covered these fundamentals of accounting, of business, and now we will see what are the important questions that have come in the last examinations. First is generally asked, what is bookkeeping? We have learnt it. Then what is accounting? When we are to discuss the accounting, then IMR, then identification, mailing, recording, classifying and summarizing, plus interpreting, plus conveying. But when we are to define the bookkeeping, then we are only to take these 5 segments. When we are to define bookkeeping, we are to take these 5 segments, but when we are to define accounting, then we are to take the total 7 segments. Defining the account, we are to use one word in the beginning, and that is accounting is the language of commerce, basically. It is the language of commerce. After identifying and mailing the transaction, it is recorded in the respective book of accounts, then it is classified, and after classification it is summarized. After summarizing it, it is interpreted by the internal and external users. It is also interpreted, it is conveyed to the internal and external users. So accounting is basically the language, and it is a process. Then next question have come, what are the different steps of bookkeeping? We have discussed these 5 steps. Name the branches of accounts which keep the records. These are the branches which keep the records under this record system. What is the function of financial accounting? Same recording, classifying and summarizing. Then there are questions. Which accounting principle requires that personal expenses of proprietors or partners should be debited to drawing account? ये अकाउंटिंग एंटिटी का कंसेप्ट है, वो अभी हमने डिस्कस नहीं किया. अंडर विच अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल quality of manpower is not recorded in the books of accounts? That is money measurement, that is money measurement concept. In this concept, we are not to record the skill of the administrative staff, we are not to record the skill of the managerial staff, we are only to record the financial transactions. So these are the basically questions which generally come in the board examinations or state services examinations. With this, we close this session, and on next day we will discuss the various concepts under the accounting system. Thank you.